Shalom Yeladim. Let's continue this exciting story of Parshat Balak. Well, Bilam asked Balak to send princes. He did not want to go with regular messengers, and Balak listened. Whatever it would take, he wanted Bilam to come to Moab. And so off went princes to go and bring Bilam back to Moab. Well, that night, when Bilam went to sleep, Hashem came to Bilam again. This time, Hashem said to Bilam, "You may go with the princes. You may go to Moab. But whatever I put into your peh, you will say. It is not going to be your koach, your power, but I will put in the words and you will say them." Bilam thought, okay, I'm going to curse them anyway, no matter what Hashem says. And he got up really early in the morning, even before the princes, and he saddled his donkey and he got ready to go. The princes woke up, Bilam was ready, and off they went to journey to where, Yeladim? Moab. On the way, the donkey that Bilam was riding suddenly stopped and wouldn't go any further. Bilam was getting pretty upset. He wanted to get to Moab so he could curse Klal Yisrael. So he took a stick and he hit the donkey. He wanted to remind the donkey who was boss. The donkey tried to get back on the path. But instead of coming back on the path, he went closer to the wall, so close that Bilam's leg was crushed between the donkey and the wall. That made Bilam upset and even more angry. He took the stick again and hit the donkey. The donkey tried to go further, but could not. The third time Bilam took his stick and hit the donkey suddenly spoke to Bilam with words. He said, "When did I ever do something nasty to you? You have ridden me so many times. I've always been your faithful donkey. Don't you understand that if I don't go, it's because something is in front of me?" Bilam looked. He didn't see anything. But the donkey saw something. The donkey saw a malach in front of him with a big sword. The donkey saw what Bilam the Navi could not see. Bilam felt a little frightened. He looked at the malach with the sword and he said, "Okay, if you don't want me to go, I won't go. I'll turn around and I'll go home." The malach looked at Bilam and said, "No, you are going to Moab, but everything that you say is going to be what Hashem wants you to say. The words that come out of your mouth are going to be words that Hashem has put into your mouth to say." And then the malach disappeared. "Ho, ho, ho," said Bilam. "Now I'm not afraid anymore." I'm going to get to Moab and I am going to curse Klal Yisrael. Well, when he got to the palace, Balak the king was so happy to see Bilam, the magician, the Navi. And he toured him around the city and showed him all the people of the city because he wanted Bilam to realize that if he saves the city, if he saves the people with his words, he will be rewarded. He will be a hero. Well, the next morning, Balak took Bilam to a very high mountain. Looking over the tents of Klal Yisrael. Bilam took animals and he tried to bring korbanot to Hashem because he thought then Hashem will allow him to curse the Bnei Yisrael. But as soon as his mouth opened, listen what he said. Klal Yisrael is a chosen nation. When all the nations of the earth will be destroyed, it will be Bnei Yisrael who will remain because they are blessed. When Balak the king heard that, he said, No. That's not what I want. Let's go to another part of this mountain. Maybe if you see more of the tents of Klal Yisrael, you will be able to curse them. And then Bilam opened his mouth again. This time he said, There are no sins amongst Klal Yisrael. They always follow the mitzvot and they always listen to the word of Hashem. No, said Balak. That's not what I want. Let's go to another part of the mountain. Maybe there you'll have better power. And finally, Bilam opened his mouth and he said something that we say every morning in our tefillah. He said, Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanosecha Yisrael. How wonderful, how good are your tents, the sons of Yaakov, the children of Yaakov. And how wonderful are the places of your Torah learning, your mishkanos. He noticed something very special about the tents of Klal Yisrael. That even though they lived so closely together, none of the doorways faced each other. They lived in tzniut. No one was able to see what was going on in the tent of the other person. That he saw on their daily basis, in their daily lives. They lived their lives with tzniut. And then he saw their specialness, that the Shekhinah, that the special feeling of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and HaKadosh Baruch Hu being with Klal Yisrael could be felt right there with them in the camp. Wow. Balak had to give up. He said, I am so mad at you. I brought you here so that you could curse Klal Yisrael. But instead, you have given them bracha. Go! Go away from here. Go back to where you come from. What a story. An amazing story. No matter what, no one can curse, no one can hurt, no one can do anything bad to Klal Yisrael without Hashem's permission. If Hashem doesn't allow bad things to happen to us, It's because he loves us, because we're special, and he's watching over us all the time. Balak didn't realize that there was no way that he could hurt Am Yisrael without Hashem's permission. Bilam, he realized, and he was a little bit embarrassed. A donkey realized more than him. The donkey understood. If Hashem doesn't allow, then it's not going to happen. It took the donkey speaking to Bilam for him to understand. When he was on top of that mountain, he was not surprised at all. Whatever Hashem put into his mouth had to come out. And the brachos of Bilam are remembered always. In fact, the bracha of Bilam is remembered on Rosh Hashanah before we blow the shofar. We say some of Bilam's bracha. And every morning when we say Matovu Ohalecha Yaakov Mishkanosecha Yisrael. Have a wonderful day, Yiladi.